Hello and welcome back to the Beyond the Scenes podcast. I'm Molly Elizabeth Agnew, founder of Eternal Goddess, and thank you for joining me. So, May is coming up, and the first week of May is going to be something for those in the fashion world, particularly if you're me. On the 1st of May, we of course have the Met Gala, and then just 6 days later, the coronation of King Charles III, which promises to be quite the fashion event. Or does it? That's what I'm going to be discussing today with my lovely Canadian friend Ali. You may know her online as the Royalty Nerd. Honestly, even if you don't care about royalty, monarchy, royal fashion, which I know most people don't, you still need to follow her. Her knowledge of royal jewellery, historical royal jewellery is, I could only hope to have that knowledge base. I like to think I know quite a bit about British royal historical style. It's a particular niche of mine, but I could never take in the amount of information that she knows. And that is why today we are sitting down to discuss the upcoming coronation. Now, for context, because this is important, it's currently the 11th of April. So we're less than a month to go, but we're also not a week to go. Therefore, in the conversation today, we're working just with information that we currently have. Therefore, our information may be out of date by the 6th of May. I don't know. They may confirm more things. They may deny things. Who knows what information is going to come out in the next couple of weeks. Having said that, these are our current predictions, and I am sure I will be back at some point in May to confirm whether or not we were correct. Hopefully we are, but who knows? As always, if you would like to keep up to date with more from Eternal Goddess, please make sure you're following us on social media. Hello Ali, thank you so much for joining me. Jumping straight in, tiaras.
Tiaras?
No tiaras. You know about tiaras.
I do.
We don't know. Well, we don't know about the coronation for tiaras. We know about tiaras, but we don't know. We know nothing about the 6th of May.
No. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to know. I wasn't expecting, all of the information to be released. They're going to keep things, on the down low. I hope we get tiaras because I love them.
Me too.
And it's a coronation, so, go big or go home is kind of my feelings on it. But, yeah, we don't know.
If someone from 1953, time traveled to today, they'd probably be really confused because it was a white tie event.
Yes.
Everyone wore your robes and your tiaras and your wonderful family jewels and crests and everything, and today it's we don't know.
I was thinking about it last night, actually. If you've got Charles and Camilla in, their whole coronation gear, and then you've got people in hats or fascinators, it's gonna look a little bit of a mess. Not a mess. I shouldn't say a mess, but there isn't going to be a cohesion to the event.
Well, this is the thing. So the Buckingham Palace still hasn't confirmed dress codes. I know people that have seen invitations. I know you know people that have seen invitations. And the dress code is day wear.
Yeah.
Morning dress for men, formal suits, gloves and hats optional. But this is for guests. So, and we know that, is it 850 guests, a charity?
Yes, I believe so.
Things. So there's a lot, compared to the Queen's coronation where it was every single peer, lord, lady, duke to have ever duked. It's half, quote unquote, normal people who aren't going to have access to glittering crowns and tiaras. So that makes sense to me. And I've seen some people complain about that, and I think that's just utterly ridiculous. That makes sense in a slimmed down event.
Yeah, if it's going to be slimmed down, right? It does make sense, I guess, in today's economy, today's climate, you might not want to bust out all of your jewels. But also, it's not like this happens every year.
This is the thing. There are, generally four confirmed tiara events a year. If you count 2 state visits, state opening of Parliament and the diplomatic corps, that's 4-ish confirmed. So if you're wearing tiaras for dinner with the President of South Africa, why aren't you at a coronation?
Yes.
But then again, you can't expect everyone to be in tiaras. So I think this is where the confusion is coming in, because all I'm seeing online is like confusion between the dress codes.
Yes, me too.
And a lot of people being like weirdly hostile about it.
I mean, the thing is, like, we don't know, and we're not going to know until the day. So it's like, why even get upset about it?
What is there to get upset about? We always knew that the majority of guests weren't going to be in tiaras. We always knew that Charles wanted something slimmed down. He wasn't going to invite every peer in the land.
Exactly.
We always knew that. That was a given. If at least half of the guests are, again, normal people, they're just going to be in lovely dresses and, you know, suits, like they're going to a wedding. That was always expected. I think what people are confused about, and like where the fun predictions come in, these are invites to normal guests. These are not the invites that have been sent to the royal family.
To the royals, yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on the royals, because this is where the conversation of tiara, no tiara, what are they wearing, is an actual conversation.
Just this morning, I saw it confirmed that King Carl XVI Gustaf and Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden are attending, as well as...
And Denmark.
Yes, Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary. You've got a king confirmed, a future queen, and a future king and queen of Denmark. If you're having, like, you know, kings come, maybe wear a tiara. You know, I could see the royals, the foreign royals coming wearing tiaras, and if you have, say, the 850, whatever it is, normal people just wearing something, you know, nice, fancy, but nice. I can see that working. It's not a whole lot of people in tiaras and jewels. It's also not like the entire British aristocracy in tiaras, which might look not that great in this economy.
Yeah, not at all.
Right, but if you had, like, say, a Swedish princess coming in her tiara, are people going to be super mad about that? Probably not. I mean, I would assume not.
I would assume people can't get that annoyed about it, because it's not like we're putting, with all due respect to them, like Beatrice and Eugenie in a tiara.
Right.
These are the equivalent of Charles and Camilla or William and Kate.
Yeah.
Coming. Having said that, I don't think they will be. I don't think they
don't
will
think
be. From what I've...
The foreign
I don't
girls?
think the foreigners.
No,
I think they'll be in. I think they'll, you know, just be in hats and stuff. Because from what I've seen, there isn't any other roles that's been given to them other than guests at the coronation. This may change, but there doesn't seem to be any reception or like pre or post party or white tie event or gala. Maxima and Willem Alexander did that the day before.
Yes.
Because the royals didn't wear tiaras to theirs, but did an event the day before. So I thought, this is never going to happen. Not in a million years. But it was just a thought. If I was on their team, I would suggest that William and Kate held a white tie event the night before.
I would agree.
Because it was, I don't believe this necessarily, but I remember it being reported in the Daily Mail or something, maybe a month or two ago, that Charles didn't want to do anything the night before because he's a mid-70-year-old man who probably wants to get his rest the night before.
Fair enough.
Valid, me too. I wouldn't want to either. I would not want to either. I think it would look good diplomatically if William and Kate held a white tie event the night before for all of the royals to kind of, I don't know, play up to their importance.
They're the Prince and Princess of Wales. Like,
they need to do something.
I've said it before. Like, they need to start doing Prince and Princess of Wales things, and this would be one of those things.
Having said that, I don't think that would happen. Okay, if we're going back to, like, the dress codes and what we don't know, the fact that we're even questioning what William and Kate will wear doesn't exactly leave room to even think about what other members of the royal family are going to wear. So we know it's confirmed. The balcony is just working members of the family. Procession, again, not confirmed by Buckingham Palace, but plenty of people have actually seen it. We know it's just the working royals. So that's the King and the Queen, obviously. William and Kate and their three. Sophie, Edward, Anne, Timothy, the Gloucesters and the Kents. We know they're confirmed, which makes me think that there is going to be quite or at least how I would predict, a division line between working members of the royal family and everyone else. Because everyone else, all the stragglers, the ones that just hold on for dear life, they're all going to be there. But I would suspect that all of them will just be in hats and dresses, and gloves.
That's what I could.
I mean, they'll be more formal than regular people, because they're more used to these sorts of events.
They got the money too.
Yeah, they got the money. Yeah, exactly.
And the access.
Which leaves the only ones to actually care about Kate and Sophie. So if we're saying yes, they are, what do we think Kate's going to wear? Because I've been thinking about this since September. Like, can I just say, with all due respect, the late Queen Elizabeth II, about a couple of days after she sadly passed away, my first thoughts were immediately, what is Kate going to wear for Coronation? I felt so bad, but I was like, I need to know.
Obviously, British designers.
McQueen.
Yeah, I feel like that's a given. Jenny Packham, I mean, Kate and Jenny Packham go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Alexander McQueen. Those would be my two big...
Two dress choices.
Yeah, McQueen and Jenny Packham.
I agree and disagree. I think it will be a custom Sarah Burton gown for the coronation.
That's a good choice.
But yeah, like it will be custom.
Yes.
It will be custom made. It won't be necessarily inspired by anything in the recent collections, because I don't think there is really anything in the recent collections that you can use as a jumping point. The last collection was beautiful, but not Coronation.
Not Coronation worthy.
I think it will have a lot of nods to Kate's wedding dress. I think it will be a gown. If let's say if they are doing it traditionally, I think it will be a cream. Camilla will be in a whiter tone. Kate will go creamier.
I can see that.
But still creamy. It's similar to her wedding dress, but maybe a slightly longer silhouette, not a massive skirt, longer silhouette, which she seems to favour at the moment. But I don't disagree with Jenny Packham. I say I don't disagree because if we're saying that Will and Kate do what they should do and host everyone,
that's when we'd get the Jenny Packham.
It will be an evening event and Jenny Packham glitter.
Yes.
Because beauty of Jenny Packham is all the glitteringness. Kate will wear a minimalistic dress for the actual coronation.
Oh, absolutely. It's not her coronation.
She won't be... But I'd like to see her in Jenny Packham. I'd like to see her in maybe something a little bit different. A bit more risky for her, maybe a different silhouette, different neckline, maybe something strapless.
Oh, that might be too risky.
Tiara.
So
new, old.
Okay, I think here's what I hope. I have my hopes, and then I have my Allie go back
Truths.
to reality.
Yeah.
My hope is that she would pull something out of the vault that we haven't seen on her. I would expect her to wear Queen Mary's lover's knot because she favors that one quite a bit, which is fine. It's a nice tiara. I just would like something different.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's nice, but like I've had enough for a little bit. But if she were to pull something out of the vault, I don't even care at this point what it is. Just anything. That would be great. I like the girls of Great Britain and Ireland. Maybe it's too soon.
That's my dream.
Maybe it's too soon after the Queen passing, but that would be a dream. I would love to see her in a fringe. I don't know if that would ever happen anytime soon. We might have to wait until she's actually queen for that.
She wore a fringe necklace at some point, or am I mistaking that with something else?
Camilla recently wore a fringe necklace.
Camilla did, that's why.
Yeah, but neither of them have actually worn fringe tiaras. Whereas the Queen did, like Queen Elizabeth II did quite a bit. I think that would look really good on Kate in particular.
This is a thing I've thought about. It's actually embarrassing how long and lengthy I've thought about this.
You're talking to me, it's okay. Same.
Okay, let's in my opinion, for the big coronation, considering that you are the future Queen of England, the next coronation is yours, you should wear something new.
Yeah.
Even if it's the only time you wear something new for a while, I think it's the right occasion to wear something new. In a dream world, I'd love to see her in the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland, because it's my favourite tiara in the collection. Hands down, I've always adored it. I personally prefer how the Queen wore it originally, so without the extra band of diamonds, because it can be made higher.
Yeah.
I like it a bit more subtler, which is how I think she would wear it if she wore it.
I would agree.
But is it too soon? I don't know. Realistically, Camilla is never going to wear it. She's never going to wear it. Camilla has her favourites, and it's too linked to the Queen.
I don't think she would either. I also like Camilla has really great tiara hair.
Yeah,
where she
can pull off the
big gun tiaras, and the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland, I just don't think
it's delicate.
It would get lost in her hair, I think.
Yeah, she couldn't pull it off. It's delicate. So I would love to see Kate in that, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of people being like, Charles won't let her. I think Charles would let her.
Oh, absolutely.
Personally. I don't think he cares what the women are wearing in the family. He has bigger things to think about, and people are like, Camilla won't let her. I think if Kate asks for it, she would be allowed to wear Girls of Great Britain and Ireland. There was not a state dinner, but like a white tie event like this that I'm saying is happening, that we have no proof could ever happen.
We're going to manifest it into happening.
I'm going to run with it. If they did that, she would wear Queen Mary's lover's knot. So that would be like the second tiara event. But the other confirmed tiara event, other than the actual coronation, is the state opening of Parliament is like a week later.
Yes.
So that's another tiara event for Kate, which would be the perfect time to wear Queen Mary's Lover's Knot and wear something that she knows, that she's comfortable with, that she knows won't kick up a fuss. So you might as well go different for the coronation.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see her in something new. Whether that happens or not,
I mean...
Actually, no, the fact that she got... Is it Queen Mary's choker? Or is it Alexandra's?
Oh, the green one?
The green one. I think it's Alexandra's.
I believe that was Alexandra's too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fact that she wore that makes me think there's hope.
Yeah, I mean...
She might be going into the archives.
Like, dig in the vaults.
Anne could wear anything. She has a good...
Anne has a few. I could see her doing her Greek key tiara, just because that is kind of a nod to her Prince Philip, her dad's side. I don't know, it might be a nice kind of family thing. But yeah, she could go either way. She could do the aquamarine pine flower, which is definitely a tiara. But she also has a bandeau that I don't believe we even have really good photos of, that I could see her maybe busting out too.
Might be about time.
Yeah. Sophie.
Aquamarine.
She's got, I would hope for the ribbon. I think I like that one the most out of all of them. But yeah, she has a few. She's got a few she could wear too. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, the British royal family's jewel collection, tiara collection, is not my favorite.
No, it's not. They don't really like going into it. And a lot is just out of sight, out of mind.
It's
just
not my style.
Hopefully, we'll see some lovely tiaras. But if we don't, we definitely are going to see some crowns.
Yes.
That are confirmed. This is when we can move into we know exactly what's happening, because we know exactly what's happening with the King and the Queen, because funnily enough, it's their coronation, and they're not gonna, go too casually.
You know them.
What a surprise! So, we know... that Camilla is wearing Queen Mary's crown, not Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mother's, which a lot of people assume she would. She'd go in Queen Mary's, which personally I prefer. I think it's nicer. It also gets over the whole Kohinoor diamond conversation.
Yeah, and we're getting Cullinans instead, which is always nice.
Yes.
To see.
Yeah, and a nice nod to the Queen. I mean, it's still jewellery and expensive diamonds that leaves a little bit of a weird taste in the mouth sometimes, but it's a nice nod. Have they confirmed the state diadem? I don't think they have yet, but I'm rolling with it.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall. I don't believe so.
Because I've been sitting here this whole time being like, as soon as they announce Queen Mary's crown, okay, and the state diadem.
Yeah.
But it's not been confirmed, and they announced all of the regalia things like 2 days ago, and it's not on their website. But I was checking back through images of all of the previous Queen consorts, and they all wore them.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, hopefully. She would look a bit silly.
Yeah, but the fact that they haven't confirmed it makes me feel like maybe she won't.
Well, but she might, maybe, what if she wears, like, another tiara instead?
But this is the thing, the state diadem on all of the other Queen consorts was only ever really worn once for their coronation and then for state openings of Parliament, but Queen Elizabeth wore it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of Queen Elizabeth II, you see the state diadem. Yeah. So maybe that's why. We do know her dress. Her dress is Bruce Oldfield. It will be in her typical silhouette that she wears. And I think it will be a white ivory with lots of gold embroidery, with all of the emblems and motifs that one can expect in the Commonwealth flowers.
I can't even add to it, because you're right. Like, that's exactly what it's going to be.
The one thing I do, I think Camilla dresses really well for... Apart from that time, was it end of last year? She wore, a velvet jumpsuit to something, and I was like... That...
I liked that.
I like it, but it wasn't right for the event. And I was like, you're kind of cool, but also it's a bit relaxed. And they've confirmed that she'll be using all of the traditional Queen Consort regalia and things, the sceptres and the staffs and the orbs and a lot of it is very old.
Yes, very, very old.
Unsurprising. Although I saw some, and this is a question for both of them, that maybe you might have some insight in as someone that knows more about old jewellery than I do. Both have to wear a ring.
Yes.
Now these rings are old and delicate, and I'm not making any passing comments on Prince Charles' fingers, but what if they don't fit? And this is the same for Camilla too. Like,
Yeah.
will they make them bigger or make them smaller, or do you just hold it and then hold it with the rest of your hands and hope it doesn't come off?
So the sovereign's ring is what Charles would wear, created for William let me check my notes real quick, William the Fourth. Seeing pictures of Queen Elizabeth wear it, you do kind of see her hand like holding the ring. There might be like spacers that they can put in it to make it, like, if they need to make it smaller. I don't know what they would do if they need to make it bigger.
If it's not going on, it's not going on.
Well, I actually have a story each time, because I saw you mention this on Twitter yesterday. So with Queen Victoria,
so much went wrong at her coronation.
she had a rough time. And her sovereign's ring, because she was very petite, she had her own ring made. When they were putting it on her, they put it on the wrong finger, and it didn't fit, so they were like just really jamming it onto her finger because it wasn't meant for that finger. And she was in a lot of pain, and it took like a long time to get that ring off. And like so much so, like she wrote about it in her diary, and she was like, this ring like
embarrassing,
killed me.
We haven't necessarily got confirmation on robes, except that there definitely are going to be robes, because they visited the Royal School of Needlework to check up on progress. Are they going to be really... I'm assuming fake fur? I'm assuming they're making new ones? There doesn't seem to be...
fake fur.
I'm like 99% sure that Charles would have fake fur. Now, this is another reason why I expect robage, or at least very fancy clothing. I would expect maybe William to be in military wear, Kate in a tiara and gown, because little Prince George... Page of Honor, and those outfits are not casual.
No, they are not.
He might look a little bit silly next to his parents
if he's
the only one in. I mean, those outfits haven't changed since like the 17th century,
something like that. Yep.
So I would expect for more reasons. I would expect.
Yeah, I feel like we've got more reasons to believe than to not believe.
Again, I think a lot of the people saying... There are two camps of people saying, oh, we'll never see William and Kate, or at least Kate and a tiara, all dressed up in gowns for the coronation. One, because the invites say day dress, but those aren't invites given to the royal family. And two, being the question of upstaging. Be that William... well, we don't need to worry about William, God bless him, but Kate upstaging Camilla and the King, or... other members of the royal family upstaging more senior members of the royal family if they turn up. But we won't be seeing Meghan in a tiara, as much as a lot of people would like to see that.
But just for the sake of...
Most likely.
Conversation.
If she was...
I'd say her wedding
tiara. She'd be in
tiara.
her wedding tiara.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how Eugenie would be in her wedding tiara, Beatrice would be in her wedding tiara.
That's what I would assume for all three of them, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll see it.
No, I don't think so either.
For lots of reasons, and I think it's correct. You know, to bring it back, as much as we both like seeing tiaras, because we're those people and we care about the history. You know, the UK economy is, I mean, this country in general right now. It's difficult, and also it's been 70 years. Opinions on the monarchy have shifted, what people are willing to see have shifted, and I do think that if every single foreign member of a royal family was in a gown and tiara, and every single member of the royal family, I'm talking Beatrice, Eugenie, Meghan, Sarah Chatto, all of them were in tiaras, it might sit a bit weird.
Plus, you've got all the peers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a big club of we've got a coronation in the 50s is a lot different from a coronation in 2023.
Like, at the end of the day, however you want to think about it, monarchist, royalist, just a history nerd, a Republican, the coronation is still about showing off a hierarchy of power within a country.
Exactly.
You're never going to be able to fully get rid of that notion, but you can make it more palatable.
Yes. I wanted to say, so my prediction for Charles's family order, which I hope
that we
green. I'm telling you, it's gonna be green.
Yeah, it'll be green.
And I'm really
like a nice light green.
Yeah, like a seafoam green. I can see
almost turquoise. I'm going to put in a few final predictions now that I've thought about it. I think Sophie will be in Susanna, London.
That was my thought for Sophie too.
I think Anne will rewear something.
Probably.
Knowing her.
Bless her.
Love her for it. All the men will just be nothing to really write home about. but, you know, as long as it all fits properly and is nice and clean,
then we're good.
Impressed. I have a feeling Beatrice is going to wear self-portrait.
Yeah.
She keeps wearing self-portrait. I don't know if Eugenie will be there.
No, she's very pregnant right now.
Very heavily pregnant. Megan, if they come, will wear Dior.
I'm sure Louise might wear something that Sophie has worn previously.
Yeah. And then there's the question of all the other foreign royals, which...
Oh, that's a...
I don't know enough about, but
I can't even...
Well, I mean, we'll check in. It's the 11th of April.
Yep.
We've got under a month to go. We might be disastrously correct or disastrously wrong. And if William and Kate do hold some kind of white tie event, I'd like to be credited with it.
Yes.
I gave them the idea.
Yep. They listened to this podcast and they were like, oh.
They totally did. Thank you so much for listening to the Beyond the Scenes podcast. I do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, depending on where you are listening / watching this podcast, what your predictions are for the coronation on May 6th. Will we see tiaras? Will we not see tiaras? Will something go wrong? There's always something that goes wrong. And of course, if you would like to keep up to date with more from the podcast and from Eternal Goddess, make sure you're following us on social media.